The heart monitor's shrill alarm pierced through the sterile silence of the pediatric ICU as 12-year-old Emma's vital signs plummeted beyond the point of return. Dr. Sarah Mitchell watched in horror as the numbers on the screen painted a devastating picture: respiratory failure, cardiac arrest imminent, and according to every medical calculation she had performed in her 20-year career, this brave little girl had perhaps 3 minutes left to live. What happened next would challenge everything the medical team thought they knew about healing, hope, and the extraordinary bond between a child and her four-legged guardian angel. Emma Rodriguez had been battling a rare autoimmune condition for 8 months, her small body fighting a war against itself that even the most advanced treatments couldn't seem to win. Her parents, Maria and Carlos, had exhausted their savings, their hope, and nearly their faith as they watched their vibrant daughter slowly fade away in the hospital bed. But through it all, there had been one constant source of comfort and strength: a golden retriever named Max, who had been Emma's loyal companion since her 5th birthday. Max wasn't just a pet, he was Emma's shadow, her confidant, and her reason to smile even on the darkest days. The hospital had strict policies about animals in the ICU, but Dr. Mitchell had witnessed something extraordinary in the weeks leading up to this critical moment. Every time Max was allowed to visit, Emma's vitals would stabilize, her pain seemed to diminish, and a spark would return to her tired eyes. The nursing staff had begun to notice patterns. Emma's breathing would regulate when Max laid his head on her bed, her heart rate would calm when his warm presence filled the room, and her appetite would return after his visits. It was as if this gentle giant possessed some mysterious healing power that modern medicine couldn't explain or replicate. If you're touched by this incredible story of love and loyalty, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to Loyal Hearts for more heartwarming tales that celebrate the unbreakable bond between humans and their animal companions. Your support helps us continue sharing these powerful stories that remind us of the magic that exists in our world. As Emma's condition deteriorated rapidly that fateful Tuesday evening, her parents made a heart-wrenching decision that would go against every hospital protocol. They smuggled Max into the ICU, knowing that if their daughter was going to take her final breath, it should be with her beloved companion by her side. The 6-year-old golden retriever seemed to sense the gravity of the situation from the moment he entered the room. His usual playful demeanor was replaced by a solemn, protective stance as he approached Emma's bedside with careful, deliberate steps. The medical team was initially alarmed by the presence of the dog, but Dr. Mitchell made a split-second decision that would haunt and inspire her for years to come. She allowed Max to stay, understanding that sometimes compassion must override protocol, especially when conventional medicine had reached its limits. What unfolded over the next several minutes would become the stuff of medical legend, whispered about in hospital corridors and discussed in medical journals for decades to come. Max approached Emma's bed with an urgency that seemed almost supernatural. He didn't jump or play as he normally would, but instead placed his massive paws gently on the edge of her bed and fixed his intelligent brown eyes on her pale face. The dog began to whimper softly, a sound that seemed to pierce through the mechanical beeping of the medical equipment. Then, in a moment that defied all explanation, Max began to do something the medical staff had never witnessed before. He started to breathe in perfect synchronization with Emma's labored breathing, as if he was trying to will his own life force into her failing body. The heart monitor continued its ominous countdown, but something remarkable was happening. As Max maintained his vigil, breathing deeply and steadily while never breaking eye contact with Emma, the girl's erratic breathing pattern began to stabilize. Her oxygen saturation levels, which had been dropping dangerously low, started to climb. The medical team watched in stunned silence as vital signs that had been spiraling towards certain death began to show signs of improvement. Dr. Mitchell later described the scene as otherworldly, explaining how Max seemed to be communicating with Emma on a level that transcended human understanding. The dog's breathing became more pronounced, his chest rising and falling in a rhythm that seemed to guide Emma's own respiratory system back from the brink of failure. It was as if Max was teaching her how to breathe again, how to fight, how to live. For 47 minutes, Max maintained his position, never moving, never wavering, breathing life into his beloved companion through sheer force of will and love. The medical equipment that had been screaming warnings of impending death gradually quieted as Emma's vital signs stabilized and then began to improve. Her color returned, her breathing deepened, and for the first time in weeks, her eyes fluttered open. The transformation was so dramatic that Dr. Mitchell ordered immediate additional testing, convinced that their equipment must be malfunctioning. But test after test confirmed what seemed impossible: Emma was not only stable but actually improving. The autoimmune markers that had been destroying her body showed signs of regression, her organ function was returning to normal ranges, and her pain levels had decreased significantly. Max finally collapsed from exhaustion, his mission complete, but the damage to his own body was severe. The extraordinary effort he had expended to save Emma had taken a devastating toll on his aging heart. As Emma slowly recovered over the following weeks, making a miraculous comeback that baffled every medical professional involved in her care, Max's condition deteriorated. It was as if he had somehow transferred his remaining years to the little girl who meant everything to him. The golden retriever passed away peacefully 3 weeks later, surrounded by the Rodriguez family and a medical team that had witnessed something that challenged every principle of modern medicine. Emma, now on the road to full recovery, held Max's paw as he took his final breath, whispering words of gratitude to the hero who had saved her life through an act of love so pure and selfless that it redefined what the doctors thought they knew about healing. If this story of ultimate sacrifice and unconditional love has touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video and share it with others who need to be reminded of the incredible bonds that exist between humans and animals. Leave a comment telling us about your own experiences with the healing power of animal companionship, and don't forget to subscribe to Loyal Hearts for more stories that celebrate the extraordinary love our animal friends bring into our lives. Emma Rodriguez is now a healthy teenager, but she carries with her the memory of Max's final gift and the knowledge that sometimes the greatest healing comes not from medicine or technology, but from the boundless love of a loyal heart. Dr. Mitchell continues to study the phenomenon she witnessed that night, but she's learned that some miracles are meant to be felt rather than understood, experienced rather than explained.